When it comes to data sharing, all or nothing isn't a solution. It is, in fact, a risk. Today, I'm going to show you how to lock down access by implementing granular security settings for SQL views in the Microsoft Fabric warehouse. This critical step ensures that different users get precisely the access they need based on the specific security policies and business requirements. In this demonstration, I have sales WH Fabric Warehouse. I'm going to create views in the Fabric Warehouse admin account, which I'm currently logged onto, and I'm going to grant item label permission to two users within my tenant, Enoch and Zoe. Afterwards, I'm going to grant the object level permission on the SQL Views, which I'm going to create from here. Then I'm going to log into each of the two users using different browsers from the notification link from Outlook email I'm going to receive when the Fabric Warehouse item is shared with them. Thereafter, I'm going to create a semantic model based on the views and build a Power BI report in those two accounts. Then I'm going to alter the views from the admin Fabric account here and monitor the changes in the downstream Power BI report of the two users. So enough of talking, let's get started. All right, so as mentioned, this is my Fabric admin account. So I'm currently logged in using Abiola at cornerstone solutions 1.onmicrosoft.com. So when I come to the Chrome browser, so I'm logged in using Enoch at cornerstone solutions. And when I come to the Opera browser, I'm logged in using Zoe at Cornerstone Solutions. So I'm using the three intra email, and this is really good for proper demonstration and understanding. So I'm going to come back to the admin account where I'm logged in, and because I've got all the permissions, let's go ahead and inspect the sales WH warehouse created. So when I click on that, I can see the schema. So I'm going to expand the schema, and then we've got the database owner DBO, and I've got three table objects named orders, products, region. Now, when I come to the orders, I can see in the overview summary, I've got 50 rows and 9 columns, and the size on disk is 5.37 kilobytes, and this is the last modified date and time. And I can see the columns property, which include the column ID, column name, data type, nullable, maximum length, precision, scale. And when I come to the data preview, you can see the columns and of course the rows. Nice and easy. Let's come to the product. I can see I've got 20 rows and 5 columns, and this is the data which is properly populated. And then in the region, I've got 15 rows, 4 columns. Come to the data preview, and we have the data nice and easy. So we want to go ahead and create two views, and one is going to be product analysis for Enoch, filtering for Canada country, and the second is going to be product analysis for Zoe, filtering Nigeria. So to create the view, I'm going to just use the new SQL query. Now, in order to make it very smooth and easy without taking a lot of time, I'm going to paste my code and walk you through the code. Just simple code. So first, we want to inspect the content of the regions table. So I'm going to select star from region and press Control Enter to run the code. And then at the bottom, we can see the region ID, which is the primary key that uniquely identifies each of the rows in the DAME regions table. And you can see the region name, country, we have Nigeria, United Kingdom, United States of America, we have United Arab Emirates, and of course France. And then we have the continent. Excellent. Now we want to focus on this country, so let's go to the bottom a little bit. So we want to, as I've mentioned, create a product analysis report for Canada country and grant Enoch the permission to select and build a new semantic model, and of course build a Power BI report on top of that semantic model. So we are using create view, and the name of the view is VW product analysis for Enoch. I'll select, and then I'm selecting all the columns that I'm interested in, performing all my calculations using my count, sum, min, max data functions, performing all the relevant joins, and here, very importantly, we have the where clause. So I'm filtering the country equal to Canada, so I can control select all of this to the top and press Control Enter to create that view, and in a matter of seconds that is created automatically. And then we can see that the view is now created when I click on this to expand. So let me just expand this a little bit. VW product analysis for Enoch. Now let's go to the bottom and do the same thing for Zoe. So in this case, I'm just going to change this to Zoe, and this is named VW product analysis for Zoe. So again, we have all the columns, all the joins, and very importantly, the where clause with the country is equal to Nigeria. And I can press Control Enter to execute having selected the query. And again, this created automatically, and then we can see that here. Excellent. Now let's inspect the two view we've created. So let me just put in a semicolon here, and let's do select star from, and then I can just use this ellipsis to populate using the insert into canvas, put in a semicolon at the back here, and let's do the same thing for the view we created for Zoe. Select star from, and I'm just going to use this to populate, and let's run both. So Control Enter, move it up a little bit, and in the result one, in order of execution, we have the product analysis for Enoch at the top, and this is filtering to Canada. I want to switch to result 2, and this is for Nigeria, and that is working fine. Now at this point, both users do not have the permissions to see, not even the warehouse itself. They can't even say anything. So the first we need to do is to grant the item label permission by sharing this fabric warehouse with them. So how do we do that? I'm just going to click back on the name of the workspace, and let me go quickly to the folder. I can see that here. So I'm going to say the sales WH, and I can use this share. I can even come to ellipses, and I can go to manage permissions. Anyone is fine from any point. So I can do add user from here if I choose. I can also come back to the other place I just moved away from. So click back here, use this share, and I can call the enter email of the user. So I'm going to type in Enoch, and I'm going to search for Zoe, and there we go. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to take off this build report on the default semantic model. So because we don't want to give them any permissions, so we're going to be giving them permissions using the DCL, the data control language. So I'm of course going to notify them that I'm actually sharing an item with them. So notify recipient by email. So they're going to get an Outlook notification. So I'm going to click on grant, and there we go, successfully granted permissions. Now I'm going to come to the Enoch and go to the Outlook, because it's going to come through Outlook and wait for some couple of moments. So there we go, fabric artifact share, and there we go, both came in. So I'm going to open from here, and let's go to the Chrome browser. Come here, and this also arrived. So I'm going to launch for Zoe, and let's see here. So this is going to take maybe some couple of seconds, and the user here will only be able to see the sales WH warehouse without being able to see the workspace or all the objects or the items in the workspace, and including all the objects in this sales warehouse. So they're not going to be able to see anything practically but the tables and the views. So let's inspect and see. So when I click on this, go to the view, we can see tables is nothing. So they're not going to see anything. Views, they can't see because they don't have the permissions to be able to see the objects, to be able to select. That's cool. So let's inspect this also. So expand for Zoe, expand the DBO, tables is nothing, views they cannot see. So we want to go back to the admin account and use the data control language to grant the select on the views to each of these users, and they'll be able to select and of course build new semantic model. So let's see how we can do that. So let me create a new SQL query here. All right, so let's go ahead with the DCL. So I'm going to use grant, and I'm going to grant select on. Now I'm going to provide the objects. So let's start with Enoch. Use this to populate the view name. So select on VW product analysis for Enoch, and let's use the tool clause, and then inside a square bracket I'm going to provide the email address, the enter email address of that user. So cornerstone solutions1.on Microsoft. gmail.com. Again, this must be correct. So I'm going to just press Control Enter, successful execution. So when I come here, so I don't even need to do anything. I can see that the view is now visible in Enoch's side. Excellent. So we can see we've got 6 rows, 9 columns. When I click on here, I can see the output, the result of the view we just granted the DCL. Excellent. Now let's come back to the admin. I'm going to Control C this, put in the semicolon, Control V to paste, and this is going to be for Zoe, and I'm going to change the intra email to Zoe within the same tenant. So I'm going to select this only, Control Enter, and again this succeeded very easily. Come back to the Opera and let's just watch. We don't even need to do anything, just wait, and it's going to automatically update itself. There you go, and let's watch out. So just double click and we should see the view. Okay, there we go. Click on that and you can see the overview, 11 rows, 9 columns, data preview, and you can see this filtered to the country equal to Nigeria. Absolutely awesome. Now let's go ahead and create the new semantic model. So we've seen how to grant the object level and of course the item level. So let's go ahead and see how to create the new semantic model. Click on here and then we want to provide a name. I'm going to call this one sales report, sales report for Lady Zoe. All right, and then we need to specify the workspace where this is going to be created in. So I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to maintain the direct link on SQL storage mode, and I'm going to select the view, click on confirm, and that is created. So let's come here and do the same thing for inner new semantic model, and let me call this one product analysis for Master Enoch. All right, choose the workspace and select the view, click on confirm. That's created. So let's come back here. So we can go to the workspaces, go to that demo workspace, and then we can see the semantic model created for Lady Zoe. So click on that, and then we can build our Power BI reports on top of that view. So in here, I can see the option under the Explore group, the option to create new Power BI report. So a tab is opened automatically while this is maintained. So click here and we can see the canvas, the Power BI service. So there we have the view, not tables, but this is recognized as tables anyway here in Power BI service. So let's build product name and let's do country and let's do total orders and total sales. So this is fine. Let's come here and go to the workspaces, this workspace here, and then let's click on that semantic model for Master Enoch, and we want to go to the Explore group and click on New Report. So click on that, a new tab is opened automatically while again this is maintained. Click here again, we are going to see the Power BI service. There we go, expand, and let's do product by country and by total orders, total sales, expand this. Okay, cool, that's good. Now we want to come back to the admin account. All right, so we've granted the object level. Now let's say the business requirement change, so there's a new order or there's a new instruction to actually add more country to Canada and they want to add more country to Nigeria, so that everything actually flow downstream to the Power BI report we've seen. So I'm going to come to the SQL query here. All right, so let me just move to the top so that we don't get ourselves confused. Let's start with Enoch. So for now, we can only, or we filtered only to Canada, but we can use the in operator, and then let's say we want to include not only Canada now, but we want to also include the United States. So inside the single quote USA, put in a single quote, and then we can select this, and I can go ahead and run this. Now, when I click on run, this is going to fail. And the reason is because this object already exists. So we're trying to create again. So this is not going to work. So we have to use the alter view, not create, because this has been created already with this name. So we have to use the alter, and this is where it matters. So that's we select after selecting the alter, and I'm going to press Ctrl Enter. Now, okay, let me just expand and select all the whole thing from the bottom here. So select to the top and press Ctrl Enter, and now this is going to succeed. So this has been altered. Excellent. Now let's do the same thing for Zoe at the bottom. So I'm going to change this create to alter, don't forget, and then we want to include not only Nigeria but United Kingdom. So I'm going to use the in operator, put the bracket, put in a comma, single quote, United Kingdom. Let me just type it in proper case. United Kingdom, and I'm going to close the single quote, close the bracket, everything looks correct. And again, I'm going to take this to the point here and then press Ctrl Enter, and again this succeeded. Now let's quickly inspect from here before we go to each of the users window. So Ctrl Enter, and then we can see we have the United States and Canada for ENOC, and then when I run this, we have Nigeria and UK for Zoe. Excellent. Now let's come back to the any one of them anyway. So here, all I need to do is just click on refresh in this Power BI report, and everything will flow downstream from the admin account down here. So click on refresh, and there we go. We can see Canada's and of course the United States reports. Brilliant. Come here, click on refresh, everything is flowing downstream. Nigeria, United Kingdom, fantastic. So everything is working as expected. Now let's just play around. So let me just come to this SQL query. So let's say we want to actually revoke the permission. I can use the revoke, select on, and then we have to use from here, because when you're revoking you have to use from, if you're granting you have to use to. So I'm going to revoke and select both, Control Enter, both executed. Let's come here. So when I refresh, we're going to get an error because this user doesn't have any permissions to be able to view that view or to be able to query it. And when I come here also and I click on refresh, so again, this is going to throw an error. That's working as expected. So when I come here, let's say I want to actually, press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, and let's go ahead and grant them all these privileges again, the permissions. Ctrl Enter. So this succeeded. Come back here. When I click on refresh, everything is back to the original state. When I come here, click on refresh, everything is returned. Brilliant. So this is how we can use the grant and revoke data control language to be able to grant all the necessary permission at object level based on the item level of Microsoft Fabric. I trust you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like, share, comment, and follow me for more videos because there's a lot to come. Thank you and bye for now. Cheers.